What's up, everybody? It's Samuel Day, and I am back. I'm back in the lair. I am back in the lab. Let me explain to you why this is such a big deal. I've spent the last... I'm going to tell this story from the beginning. I've spent the last, good Lord, several weeks cleaning. Physically, digitally. Cleaning the studio. Cleaning my room. Cleaning hard drives, cleaning desktops, setting up backups, burning so many disks. And it was all with the goal of getting organized and creating headspace so that I could get back to creation, to making music and writing and art and being able to possibly do acting type projects. But I should also remind you that June 6th, I have the awesome opportunity, it's happening. I'm opening for Colton Dixon at the Underground, June 6th. I believe tickets are $15. I'm still waiting to get my pre-sales, and when I have them, you'll know about it. If you don't know who Colton Dixon is, he made it very far on American Idol. I don't know what season, but then went on to perform on the Jay Leno show. He just did a tour with Toby Mac. So on the evening of June 6th, doors open at 6:30 p.m., I will be opening for Colton Dixon. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a cool, big national show. I think they've got VIP tickets on sale, too. You'd have to go to the Underground's website. Okay, so I did all this cleaning for the sake of creating headspace, and then I've also been doing some smaller outside mixing and mastering jobs as well. And then I got, just recently, I did the Broadcast theme. The theme for a friend of mine, Chris Rogers, has a Let's Play series called the Broadcast Adventures, and he wanted a little 15-second theme song for it. So it's funny to me when I go to create something for other people. It's like I sit down and this is going to sound terrible, and I don't mean it this way, but I sit down, I'm kind of not caring. I'm just like, here I go, I'm going to do this commission work. Obviously, I'm going to make it good. I'm not going to slack on it. But so I sat down, and in like an hour to an hour and a half, really, really quick little session, had this thing turned out, and I loved it. And they loved it, and it was great. I'll put the link to the SoundCloud in the description for you or something. If this is on Facebook, I don't think I can do that. Maybe I'll put it as a comment. And I was super happy with it. So then, after spending all this time, I can't even express to you the hours I spent every day here and upstairs and on 3 separate computers. Also, because I do a lot of media management work for my church, just so many hard drives. Actually, that is one thing I can tell you about. We're doing a media campaign for my church that has had me recording some music and is going to include some videography, some cinematography, and some acting too. That's going to be really cool when it's done as well. So then I sat down and tried to have this writing session the other day, and I spent 2 to 3 hours just kind of lilting between the piano and the guitar and sitting down in front of the computer with the synthesizers and trying to come up with ideas that felt better than okay. And I was like, nothing was clicking, nothing was working, nothing felt okay. I had one good idea that came out of it, and that was at the very beginning of the session. But then when I tried to get any more, it was just like, Sam Day, what is happening right now? Lord help me. But then yesterday, I sat down and I started working on some ideas, and I've got kind of 2 other ideas working right now, some stuff I would like to possibly release as singles over the summer. Because I like to kind of always pepper a little bit of new material and let you know that there's still things going on here, not only in the music realm. I mean, I've been working on some t-shirt designs, a little bit of my writing projects lately, and some ideas have been rolling around in my head about doing some acting projects as well. Of course, I'm not going to let everything out of the bag, because at any given time, I normally have secret projects going on that I don't tell you about. But I don't tell you because I love you, and because I want some things to be a surprise, and because, you want to let the baby grow first. Plus, you don't want to tell internet land you're doing something, and then it doesn't end up happening for one reason or another, and then what do you do? At any rate, I sat down, I got these 2 ideas that I've started recording on yesterday. One of which is, it's electronic. And in the electronic realm, the electronic world is so convoluted with so many different genres that somebody might call me out and be like, Sam, that's not post-electronic whiz-dingery. That's EDM step square. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I think it's kind of EDM. It's sort of dark and pulsing and poppy in a kind of stargazing way. And then I've got a heavier idea that is sort of like metal and then like dance pop synthesizers and things going on. If you know me, you know that one of my goals is to do a lot of different styles of music, but to do them well and make them listenable. But I just want to do so many different styles of music, and I don't want to apologize for it. I know that there's certain opinions out there today that say, well, you need to keep it, you need to narrow it down a little bit because that's how you sell. And I know a lot of musicians, if they want it, because musicians have the ability to do so many different types of music, the same way an actor can do a drama and then turn around and do a comedy. So for some musicians, the solution to that is to have multiple projects or have multiple bands. In this band I play metal, in this band I play funk, and in this band I play acoustic. Well, here's the thing. I've always loved electronic music. I've always loved rock music. I've always loved pop music. I've always loved film scores and orchestral music. And I think that those things are all very complementary and they're sort of the roots. But I also dabble in the acoustic world. I've played so much jazz in my life. I've learned jazz theory, at least to a certain extent. That's a nearly infinite topic. I've taken jazz piano. I've taken fingerstyle guitar. When I J. Crumb recently, and I did so much hip hop for that J. Crumb album. He just came out with that video for Not a Prisoner, and when I was recording the track for that, I got to play some slap bass. I got to play this kind of funky slow groove. I got to start tacking extensions onto my keyboard chords, some sevenths and ninths. I started to use guitar tones that I hadn't really ever used for anything else, never had a reason to use, kind of jazzier tones. Was able to play more of the saxophone. Doing other tracks on the J. Crumb album, I did a reggae track, and he really liked it, and that turned out really well. I personally am not really that interested in reggae, so don't expect me to write a reggae song for myself soon. I don't think. But but then there were tunes that were so funk driven, and there were tunes that were poppier. And there are things I love about pop. It's focus on the voice. It's kind of preeminence of the voice, but then the experimentation in synthesis and all of those different things. And so and then I look at the internet, right? We have an industry that basically says, well, you do this style of music, and then we can put you on this particular radio station, or we can put you on this particular tour with this particular promoter. But the thing is, I see it's different now than it ever has been before. Okay, I took a communications course. I'm in grad school now, and right now I'm in MBA, I'm in business. But before I got into business, I took a course on, I was an interdisciplinary major, and I took these higher level communications courses, and one of which was about modern media effects. And the thing is, right now we have kids that listen to everything. People aren't just metal fans or pop fans or jazz fans anymore. No, I have friends that'll be listening to Slayer 1 minute and Taylor Swift the next. And then you've got these mashups that happen on YouTube all the time, where they'll put two completely polar opposite, unlikely artists and create this mashup. How those producers get the stems, if somebody knows, tell me, because I think that's really interesting. And then it's got like 1 million views. But then, so I don't really believe that genres are as pigeonholed as they used to be. I think the radio industry is still a little bit that way. But I think listenership isn't anymore. I think it's changing a lot. And it's super exciting for me as a musician because it means I can do, as long as it's a good idea. I've tried to put saxophone in some things, and it sounded dumb, so I took it out. I've tried to do things of a certain style, and I thought, wow, this sounds dated, or this sounds like it's been done before, or this sounds, it's too bizarre. I mean, I have a taste, I understand when something is bad and I shouldn't use it, I shouldn't do it. But I think as long as something is done well, listeners will always appreciate that, as long as you don't hang them out to dry and go from creating an album that's one style and then turn around and create a completely different album. Yes, I have common sense, but I do want to use all those palettes, and I do want to play so many different styles. I did not spend so many years in college playing so much jazz to then take those skills and never use them again. You know what I'm saying? I didn't spend time doing composition and learning to compose to never use those skills again. No, man. All that stuff contributes. So anyway, I'm looking forward to getting into a season of creation. It feels good that things are clean. It feels good that things are... I know that this camera shot doesn't make things look uncluttered, but I mean, I've got my studio book that I log the work that I'm doing in, and I've got my hard drives backed up, and things feel really, really good. So I hope to see you on June 6th. I hope you keep an eye out for some of the cool things that are happening in the lab here. I want to make good music, and I want people to like it. If you look at people like Justin Timberlake or Jared Leto, those guys do music and business and acting, and there's so many possibilities. So also be on the lookout for new t-shirt designs here soon. I'm working on some stuff that relates to the music, and they're fun, and I think you'll like them. I think the bottom line for me is to make a lot of really good things, but to not be pigeonholed and forced into only making one thing. And with the world that we live in now, digital art, that's something I haven't done in a while, but with the world that we live in now, it's so possible. And why not?